Well, welcome back to Pearls of Eden. I'm going to show you a current news clip that hits close to home, you all. It's the migrant crisis that everybody's talking about. It's really, easy when we see things on the news and it's far away. We make all of these judgments and, we don't think that it'll actually show up at our front doorstep. But when it happens, what is the solution? They're busing in migrants in this particular city, Haitians, at such high numbers that they don't have the resources. They're not a sanctioned city, a sanctuary city. So who is paying the price? Well, it's us. The migrants that are being bussed in are often being bussed into low income level communities, rural communities, where they're already struggling. You're not going to see this in the affluent areas as of yet. But if they keep going, it will knock on their doors. And how will they handle it? I'm going to show you this clip where the community, citizens, everyday people are coming to speak out. But as you will see, they are being shut down. Is that right? I'll let you be the judge. Take a look.
Over a recent influx of Haitian migrants.
There is no way the State Department can vet these individuals.
We're done, and I'm going to access
him off. Please let him talk.
You shut up. I was very specific. Okay, I'm going to ask all of you to leave because this meeting is over.
Here to react, David Phillips, who was at that meeting, and an Alabama Republican mayoral candidate for that town, Brian Taunton. Welcome to you both, fellas. Phillip, let me start with you. You're the guy who was at that podium. You were asking questions about what's going on in town to your city council, who should be responsive to you. Why'd they cut your mic?
That's what I was wondering at the time. That was the section of the meeting that's open to public comment. So when I stepped to the mic, I had a few questions for them, and they basically shut it down, before I could even voice really any of the questions that I had. I think it was more of the fact that they really didn't want to give the answers more than they didn't have the answers.
Okay.
As I mentioned in other statements, that's the whole point, that the podium and the mic are there, is so the public can, ask the questions they have.
That's why the city council has a job, to answer questions that people in the city have. Brian, tell us about what's going on. You've got a small town there, and you've got a potential problem, it sounds like, with migrants coming in. What's going on?
Well, we do have a problem, but first I'd like to say thank you for having us here this morning to discuss this. But the problem is much bigger than we are. We're a small town of 12,000 people. And while I appreciate Dave's comment, the bottom line is this: we're not equipped to deal with this. Our city council and small town governments across the U.S. are not equipped to deal with this problem. Dave shouldn't have even had to be at that meeting to have this discussion. Our city council is not prepared to have this kind of discussion. We've all been caught flat-footed on this. And bottom line is, this falls back on a failed immigration policy of the Biden-Harris administration and the failures of Alejandro Mayorkas and Homeland Security. We should not be dealing with these issues, but we're being forced to, and we simply do not have the infrastructure to support them. Right. And this is what Dave and others in our city are afraid of. These people have not been properly vetted, and they very well, I believe they are wonderful people, but many have been simply recruited into the United States by outside sources, and that comes with some major issues. But like I said, we look at what's happening in America, and we don't have the resources. We're already stretched out as a small community.
Yeah, and you're asking questions that anyone would ask in their town. Things have changed. Yes. Why have they changed? Are we safe? What are you doing about it, City Council? Do you think you're right? It's probably much more of a national issue than it is that particular City Council in your town in Alabama. We got to leave it there. Brian and David, thanks for being with us. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we reached out to that City Council for comment. We have not heard back.